Hey everybody, I'm Christy with Christisecreations Creations and an ambassador for papercraftsocials. Today I'm actually working with one of their kits, The Summer in Tuscany. It is a creative pocket folio. You will be able to purchase this on my website in due time. I went ahead and cut everything out, but I would actually recommend you going along with the notes on it. Like some of these notes will have like the double-sided mini cards, double-sided, all that. And everything is a pre-printed kit if you purchase. So I have the base all laying here in front of me. So I'm going to pull one single piece out and we're going to start with it. For this, I will actually be using my bone creaser, a tape runner, liquid glue, and probably some stick glue too. I also have some ribbons and a Velcro off to the side. So this piece here, before we even get started, I have cut out a window, and that will make more sense later. But for now, this is what we have. So we have some gray tabs here. We are going to fold inwards on this side where the window is cut out. We're not going to mess with the side that has the gate on it at this time. So as you can see, it is double-sided, so I'm going to try to keep in screen because I have a horrible time staying in screen. And I'm going to go ahead and fold this over. And just the best I can. It's not going to be perfect. It never is. Then I'm going to go ahead and flip it over and crease it. I like to have a good crease. And you can tell I did not clean my mat today as I've been working on things, but oh well. So that one is folded. Now we're going to fold the other one. I do these first so they are pre-ready to go and when I'm ready to work with that area. And I prefer using this, but you can also use a bone creaser. You can also use your scissors or so forth. So that one is folded. Now we're going to fold in half to where this, let me use this to make an easier point. This purple line right between the window area we cut and the gated section. We're just going to fold it where it goes inward. So two of the tools I forgot to mention you'll need, some of the tools that I already used with scissors, an X-Acto knife and a cutting board to cut out the edge, stuff like that. But those are things I forgot to cover at the beginning when I went over my supplies. Alright, so now we have a little pocket here. I'm not gluing or anything yet because we have a couple more creases. So you're going to note we have a line here and a line here. We're going to be folding these twice to get them to lay the right way when we get to it. But right now, all I care about is getting those creased so I have them to work with. So I'm going to open this up. I'm going to fold to the inner crease first. I've learned that works a little better. And just again, like I said, doing the best fold I can and creasing it down. We're doing the same with where it has that tag on that side. And we're creasing it to the best of our abilities and folding it down. I'm also going to go ahead and flip it and run a crease on those the other direction because we'll need those later that way. But right this minute, those are not needed to worry about. Now we are actually going to, you have two options. Now that you have all your creases, if you want to, you can ink the edges. A light brown, tan, a dark purple, all look great with this. But I'm leaving mine plain tonight. So I'm going to open it up. We are making a pocket window. I'm going to use my tape runner, which is Tombow Mono Air permanent adhesive, and I use their recyclable one. It is my preferred go-to. And I am only putting it on the gray tabs that are folded. Just like that. And I'm just going to fold it up. And once I like where it's at, I'm going to press it down on those spots there. Rub them down. So we have this now as a pocket. And we'll come back to this in a little bit. This is one of the sides we are going to do. We have a few other sides. we're gonna create before we start I pulled the wrong piece out before we start to assemble. So you have two others that will say side A, and one that has nothing on it but has a bucket, butterflies, outdoor scene, and butterflies. Alright, so the side A tab with the outdoor scene and butterflies, I'm going to fold the tab first so I know when I fold the next piece I know where I'm folding to. And this one's an eyeball because I am folding it inwards. And there you go. I just did the best I could. And now I'm going to fold this in half where there will be no white showing when I'm done. So the white is in the inside now. And I'm just going to press this down. First with my finger. And again with my runner. The bone creaser. So, these are glued together. You have an option here. You can glue this all but the top side if you want to have an extra pocket. Or you can glue them all together. I am personally going to glue them all together. But I kind of like the idea of an extra pocket at the same time. And this would be the only one we could do it on. But do I want to sit and wait for the glue or not? It's a good question, isn't it? I don't think so. Not today anyway. I am going to use both. You're going to laugh. I'm using a tape runner and a glue stick this time. The perfect thing about a silicone mat that I have on underneath here, that you can also use parchment paper or foil, is the tape. It won't re-stick as badly. So as you can see, I'm going off on the edges, and then I am going all in the middle where I did not get any of the tape runner because I'm stingy with my tape runner. And I'm folding this, and I'm going to press it down. So you have a couple options. You can use your scissor handle again, your bone creaser. But I also have a another tool that I don't remember what it's called, but I do have it that I use. I think it actually has something to do with wallpaper. I really don't remember. So if you have something with soft edge, it also works great. So we have two sides of our folio card. Now we're going to work on our last side of the folio card. The one with the bucket and the butterflies. Again, we are going to bend the... I'm trying to remember which way I'm bending this real quick. It's been a long day already. Yeah, alright. So I'm pushing the gray tab inwards this time to the white, pressing it down. Instead of the other way like we did last time. Now I'm going to take the bucket side and go into that corner of that tab right there. Press down. So we have that done. I do note there was a little bit of color on the side, but that's fine too. We're going to do the exact same thing where we're going to use my tape runner and then glue it. I want a good glue. Personally, you don't have to, but I prefer having the extra close to the edges. Because sometimes in the Texas heat, the heat wins over glue. Stick glue and otherwise. So just being a little extra over abundance, I like to do. So I put the glue, I'm pressing it down again. And then, like I said, just use whatever you have on hand that you feel comfortable with to press the seams down. And there we have that. As you can see, I did not get mine perfectly lined up. I could go cut it if I wanted to. I'm not going to worry about it. So, we have this lovely piece of paper here with the wording I cannot think of. But anyway, this will be what faces up inside. We're going to be, so I'm going to put the pieces, like the outdoor scenery and the butterfly will go on the right hand side. On the bottom, which I probably will be putting first, will be the bucket and the butterflies. Like so. And then they have this one where we folded a couple different ways will be here as well. So, and then we'll put the backing on. Again, I'm going to be using my tape runner. I'm going to not flip this over because I'm going to actually use it, put it in my hands to make it a little easier before I put it down. So, tape runner and mix the glue stick again. And I'm off screen on y'all. I am sorry. So I just did the tape runner. Now I'm adding the glue. And there we go. Now, as I want to make sure this lines up perfect, I'm going to put this where my glue stick doesn't fall off the table, which I've been doing a lot recently also. Tab is laying flat on my desk. And I'm going to push this up all the way when I'm happy with where it's lined up. Not a minute before then will I press down. I'm going to fold and then press again. Because I like, even the alignment might be a little off, I do the best I can. I flip over. Do another quick rundown. Alright, we have the bottom. Let's line up where we want the side here. So we have an eyeball estimate of where we want it. I like it about right there. You can do it all the way at the top. You can do it all the way at the bottom. It's up to you. But I am shooting to try to do it in the middle. So I'm again going to be doing my tape runner. Didn't quite do as much on this one, but that's okay. Grab my glue stick. Go down it real quick. Back up it. I like doing double swipes if I can. And we're going to kind of line this up before I press down again. That's going to be as good as I'm going to get, I think. I'm going to flip it over. And now I'm pressing. I'll flip it back to the back and press. We have 2 of our 3 now. So we want the cut scene up front. That's why we flipped the tab over. And we're going to do the exact same thing on just the gray part. We want this little extra bonus bump there. So right there is that bump that we want to keep. So I'm going to put the gray, the tape runner down, glue stick. I nearly got it on my paper and I didn't mean to do that. We're going to do like we did every other time. Eyeball line. Looks good enough to me. Press it down. And let that flop over. I leave this one out when I flip over to press. So we have the base line now made. We're going to add the back, but you have an option here. You can stop here and add it to scrapbooking, junk journal, or over. Other things like that. Or you can take this beautiful back and put it over and cover it up, which is what I'll be doing with y'all today. And I think you know the drill by now. We're using tape runner on the close to the edge as I can. And you don't have to use tape runner. You can use double-sided tape. You can use so many different things. And depending on my mood, I'll either be using my tape runner or double-sided tape. And then I notice I just missed a little area on my thing, so there we go. And I'm just going to run over everything with the glue stick. Actually twist it a little more. And it stuck to my hands, but that's okay. Let me move this back on screen. So this is the back as we're putting on now. we're just going to do the best we can here. Sometimes I'll do a little bit at a time and glue it down as I go. I didn't think about it this time. I glued everything in one go. But luckily, I did pretty good. And I'm just going to carefully run down that. Alright. So we are done with the base of our card. Yay! But now, we have other things to use. So I already have pre-cut all my pockets and a cute folder here. Envelope, sorry, not folder. And I'm going to go ahead and pull a little tiny Velcro piece there too. So I'm actually going to work with the folder first before I get to the pockets. I did clip one of the cuts to go with it so I wouldn't forget. This fake wax seal also is part of this right here. So it is thankfully double-sided. This big gray part is the back. So right now you're going to want to fold the all those colored pieces inward and do the creasing on those. And then we will we have two options. I can either use my glue runner on this card to seal it down, or I can use some liquid glue. Now I'm going to and I will use clips to help seal it and hold it. And that's one reason I am folding now, is so I can actually, as we glue a couple pieces before the spot, it will be pre-ready to go. If you're wondering what that little noise is in the background, my air conditioner just kicked on. Even at this time of the year, which is time of filming, it's September, Texas heat's still strong. So I had this folded now. I'm going to go ahead and grab some clips. I grabbed more than I needed, but I have my clips here. I keep them nearby. I don't always grab them. I'm using the Barely Arced precision tip glue. And I'm just going to do a small, let me move up, line to the base there on each side of my best to my ability. If you are wondering, just out of curiosity, I am left-handed. I don't know if that really affects how this stuff, main thing, it just affects how I do things on the screen. And right now I'm trying to put the cap back on my glue, and it's not wanting to go all the way in, but I have it in enough, I think. And I'll figure it all out here in a little bit. So I'm going to press that down. I'm going to make sure it pops still up before I clip it. And I'm just going to clip it so the glue has a few minutes to dry. Okay, I'm going to play, see what I mean though, this did not go all the way in. I'm going to pull this, ooh, dang, it didn't want to pull out. Okay, there was a little bit on the cap. Let's see if that, yeah. That one little bit on the cap was all that was keeping it from going in. So if you have a little buildup in cap and can't get your pin in, that is a good thing to clean off really quickly, so you don't cause issues with your precision tip. So while this is setting, I am going to pull what makes it a pocket folio. So we have all sorts of pockets. We have 2 scallops, we have a folding one, and some that we just are going to straight out glue, plus 2 angled ones. We're actually going to start with the angled ones. If I sound a little off, I have a stuffy nose from my allergies deciding to act up again. So I'm going to open up my card all the way, or folio, all the way into the middle. So you have a couple options here. You can put 1 down, you can put 2 down. It's all up to you. So here it is with both down. You do note that for some reason one's slightly bigger than the piece itself. So I will be reaching and grabbing scissors to be prepared to cut. I will actually not, I was about to cut before, but I'll actually glue and cut. This one I'm not going to, since it's laying flat, I'm not worried about it moving on me too much. But I'm going to do the glue on the angle side. Not the angle, but this side here and this side here where the angle is where it will make a pocket. I'm going to try to get it on screen somewhat here for us. I'm stopping at the corner and then going out towards the tip cut each way. And for most of this I have a pretty good small precision line that will hold that we can get our stuff in. So, it slid under my project. So you can see the glue there and there. So I'm going to flip this back open. I'm going to line this up with the corner here. Press it down first. Make sure both these things still close. I have a little wiggle room. I don't want to wiggle it too much because of the glue, but it is now down. We're going to do the same with the one that I'm overlapping on it. And then in a little bit I'll go cut that little corner off. It's not a rush off need. It's there, it just has to be done. So again, we're doing the same corners as we just did, sides that we just did on the other one. And we'll get that glued. First I always line the edge and then I go on down. I'm happy with that, so I'll press that down. So that is now gluing. So you have a couple options here. You can leave this plain. You can add one of these tabs to it or so forth. Same with the outside. But on the inside on each one of these, I am going to add the scalloped edges. I hate that they cover up some beautiful designs, but they work perfect there. And then we have the bottom we'll be doing here shortly as well. But just the bottom I will probably use, let me slide this up, this one here, and then we flip it in. Something did not fold quite right, but that's okay, I'll figure it out here in a minute. This one down here where they kind of match, and then I'm going to glue this one on top of it where it has a little two pocket type thing. But so you get to play with where you want your pockets. And this part right here, I'm trying to remember the name again. Envelope. Sorry, my brain is definitely fried today. So this is bouncing up a little. I'll figure that out later why. I may not glue quite right, I don't know. So this is slightly glued, so we're going to take it off. Now we have, make sure it didn't glue itself shut. Sitting that up there while that other glue sits. So, I am actually going to put the gold piece kind of down like this. I am actually going to start with the Velcro on the very edge of it. Put it down, kind of line it up where I want it. Get the Velcro stick and then glue up at the top for a little bit more fun there. You don't have to. You can obviously put the Velcro just right there and go with it. but this I'm doing it a little bit different than normal. So right at the very tip of the I'll put the Velcro. I'm gonna make this sideways on y'all. I apologize, but it's a little easier for me to work with. I want to put it about like that. It looks about even. I like it. I'm gonna press that down. All right. I am now seeing about where we're. Now here comes the fun part. The reason why I love my glue runner is I can do a little bit of strip up and just stick it down. Velcro it and see if I need to add anything else, which this time I did not. Next time I might have to. But this piece is now done. I want to also go ahead and fold the edges on this because you're going to see how I'm going to hopefully combine these two if I remember doing this correctly. So we're folding the gray tabs inwards to the white side where the decorative side shows outwards. So that's halfway done. And let's go ahead and do the other right here. That's good enough eyeballed fold. And that is done. So this does say where it's recommended to go, and that's where I'm putting it. So I'm putting the pocket all the way up, the envelope all the way up here, and the pocket at the bottom of the envelope, which I can take the envelope down just a little, or raise the pocket up just a little if I want to. Kind of like it just like that. So that gives me an idea. So I'm just going to run my glue runner on the edges. To the best of my ability. Sometimes it doesn't like to work properly when I'm holding it. And I'm just going to eyeball where I had it a minute ago and press it on down. I normally would have done more glue, but I think this will hold. I'm going to glue the try to do just the glue on the tabs with my tape runner. We'll see. That one tab is a little shorter than I'm used to doing it with. You can also obviously just use just the glue stick here. That is up to you. Alright. I'm putting this at the bottom where I kind of evened it at the bottom here and pressing down. That page is now done. So I want to pre-prep here, and then we'll work on the sides while this one sits for a minute, where I'm doing the two sides and the bottom. You okay? So put that right there. First, I'll make sure you know which way your pattern's going so you don't accidentally glue it upside down. I'm doing the sides first. And then it glues across the bottom. Taking this piece, eyeballing about where I want it, lining it up. I'm going to clip it in about 4 spots so the glue can set for a few minutes. So while we're waiting on that one, we can do all 3 inside spots. So I'm going to work at the bottom first, and I am going to clip it also. If you don't have clips but have paper clips or something like that, those work great as well. Use what you have on hand kind of thing. You can even use clothespins. I'm going to be gluing off screen this time. I apologize. But the way I have everything spaced out, it's just going to be quicker to get the glue done off screen. There we go. Downside to gluing all three sides, sometimes it's picking up without getting glue on your hands. So I'm going to glue this down right here. I'm going to clip it so it can hold while we move up. And on each side I'm going to glue the scalloped edges. So we're going to go down and not on the scalloped part. Down and across, but not on the scallop part. I forgot to say the cross part a second ago. I don't know if they're coming through, but it sounds like my dogs have decided to start barking on me. Which, nothing normal. They like playing together. And again, I'm just going to clip this in 2 spots so it can hold. Now I'm going to move over where we can work on this third side here. And we're going to do the sides again. So kind of like that, where you have the glue on the sides. Flip it, put it on the edge, and I'm just going to grab a clip or 2 and go ahead and clip it. So I don't like sitting doing nothing while waiting. I'm not one of those people. So in our pile, if you cut out ahead of time or if not, you have 4 tags. I'm going to head and punch holes in those off screen because I don't think I can get my piece on that I use, but I will show y'all. I'm using the 3/8 hole punch of the Crocodile 2, and I use it for multiple things. It's just always in my workspace. I do have hole punches, but this is my go-to. Truthfully, I prefer it over regular hole punch. Okay. Alrighty, got that hole punched. Those 4 hole punched. While we're waiting for the glue to dry, I can do the one other pocket that we have prepped before we get to decorate. We'll be working on a couple pieces. I will go ahead and fold this up so it is slightly more out of the way. So first, we have ribbon. We're going to just run them through the tags however you prefer. You can fold it in half and put it through the hole from the front, the back half through the hole through the front. It's not always the easiest, especially if you're using more decorative ribbon like I am here. That will fray on the ends. And pull through. You can also just tie a knot. This is my preferred because it looks nicer personally in my opinion. But everyone has their preferred method. Just because mine is one way doesn't mean yours needs to be. So as you can see, I do struggle to get it through a little bit. The sheer organza ribbon is actually the easiest to get through. And most of my kits, if you're ever looking, including this one, will probably, unless you buy one of my advanced kits where I had the more fancy ribbons, will be sheer. It's my go-to ribbon. It comes in so many colors and looks great at the same time. So let's slide that through. And I always don't keep them at the same length. Sometimes I let them go longer or shorter, depending on my mood. Sometimes I will put these through and then trim them if I don't want them that long. Like I said, it really depicts my mood on how my ribbons turn out. Now on one of my kits, I will recommend tying over pulling through, but that is a whole different kit. So we got all of our ribbons done. I'm going to flip back up front here. We still have this pocket to work on. So we have some different imagery here. The main one designed to go there is the bicycle. But I also pull out the potted and the house scenery as well. They all fit great there. But to be able to pull them in and out, we have to have something to work with here. And I'm also pulling two other things while we're doing this. So we have little tabs we're going to work with. But if you pull everything out, we have a blank spot. So first thing I'm actually going to be doing is gluing this flower that is in our fussy cuts down. That is just something I personally like. You do not have to do it. You could glue any of the things down, including a butterfly if you wanted to. So I'm just going to use my my glue stick, not the entire glue, but get it good and glued and stuck right in the middle. This is another way where you could make a cute note. And if you want to, you can get a stamp and make lines on the back. But let's pull out. I want to see if I have 3 matching tabs up at the front. I know that's weird to say, but I'd like to do 3 matching tabs if possible. And it don't look like I can, so actually one of them will be a little bit different direction, but that's okay. Those 3 I like, where it has a heavy purple with it. So you can also use any of the tags throughout. I'll show you a couple different ways to do those as well if you want to. I normally do not. So you're going to just fold these in half. I'm going to use my bone creaser again. So yeah, I have a couple options here. You could use liquid glue, stick glue, tape runner, so forth. So I'm trying to decide which way I want to lay these. I think if it's back, I think I want to do the scenery up front, the bicycle at the back, and the potted plant in front. So this one's going to be all the way at this edge here. So I want to make sure one thing. This one is a little bigger than the other 2. I want to make sure it will fit without having to be trimmed first. Because if I need to trim, I want to trim now. But guess what? I don't have to trim. So that's perfect. So I'm personally just going to take my stick glue, keep it in my hand, truthfully, go down both sides. I'm going to do the bicycle. Since it's going to be the one on the back, I'm going to put it on the far right hand side. About right there. And just press it down. If you use liquid glue, you're obviously going to have to wait for it to dry. That's one reason I'm not that patient at times. Alright, this one is going to go on the front one, and you're going to find out why I'm doing these 2 first, because I want to kind of line up these 2. Alright, let's get this back on screen for y'all, about right there. I think that's where I want to press that down at. So, let me slide this up again. We have these 2. Tabs are semi-close. I want to get the 3rd tab now in the middle, so it's in between those 2. So you have 3 tabs sticking up. Got that glued. So I'm just going to pick this up. That looks as close to the middle as I'm going to get, probably. Press it down. These 3, I'm going to go ahead and slide in the pocket, because it's all ready to go. So that's one part of our decoration actually done. We can come back to that in a minute. Now the glue head has enough time to set. We're going to go glue our last pocket, and then I'm going to do a little more decorating with y'all. But truthfully, after the last pocket is on, decorating is really up to you. You can stay along, follow along with me, or you can go and do your own thing. For me, I have, it's fun both ways. But I want to be able to make sure you'll have the full experience of how to do it all. So I'm unclipping these from where I let the glue sit earlier. I'm running the glue across the bottom and the two sides again to make this a pocket. I'm going to put the pin in my needle, the needle back in my glue so it doesn't stick. And I'm just going to put this right on the bottom. Line it up semi. And then since the bottom's a little hard to clip right this second, I can obviously, but I'm not going to try. I'm just going to clip those sides down. Okay. We had this major card here that just slides in a pocket. Me, I'm one of those people who have two cute images that I don't know where else I want to put them. I have butterflies too that I can also put in, but I could see the truck on this side and the little bird on this side are up here on here. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to glue them down. Add a little extra decor to this part of the piece here. And again, this is just running my glue stick across them so I don't have to wait for liquid glue to dry. You really need to use whatever glue you prefer. Just because I'm the impatient person and you go to the tape runner, double-sided tape or glue stick when I can so I can move quicker. Doesn't mean you have to be. You could take your time and let it set. Okay, but that is now glued. We have a whole bunch of fun stuff now to look at. Besides for all those tags, we have other little things that work as pockets, some little cards that I'll be folding with y'all in a second. But yeah, big card, two little cards, some words that you can put in, fold this up. But anyway, all these you can do. So you have one of these here. You can add an extra tab if you want to it. That is all up to you. The rest of this I'm actually going to leave up to you. I'm going to show you two more things. And then it's yours to go with how you want. So you're going to, yeah, 3 cards, 2 small, 1 big. You can see the line right where you need to fold. You just fold it in half and press down. And then you have a perfect place. You could take some white paper, fill on this if you want to be able to write in it, so forth. You can put the something I did when I made mine is I took family and put it right there. Memories are also a great one. Our lavender field's cool too. Our family memories right next to each other would be neat as well. The other thing I did, besides for cut off those pieces that are sticking out, is right here on the front. I took a butterfly, folded it in half, and just glued it here. Same with this one down here. And left the other one floating as another decor somewhere. These are all things for you to do. The sky's the limit on how you want to decorate and where you want to put everything. I want to thank you all for joining me. And at some point I'll be coming back with even more embellishment video on this. So stay tuned and please subscribe so you can get all the updates. Bye.